Thank you for being here. In a moment, you'll hear from law enforcement officials who will share with you what they can as up-to-minute update on the situation here in Minnesota. You're going to be joined by Commissioner Bob Jacobson, BCA Superintendent Drew Evans, State Patrol Colonel Christina Bogoyevich, Champlain Park Police Chief Snyder, and Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley, as well as the Mayor of Brooklyn Park. We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost a dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota. She woke up every day determined to make this state a better place. She is irreplaceable, and we've been missed by so many. Minnesota's thoughts and prayers are with her family, her loved ones, her children, and her parents. My prayers also go out to State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, who were each shot multiple times. The Hoffmans are out of surgery at this time and receiving care, and we are cautiously optimistic they will survive this assassination attempt. This was an act of targeted political violence. Peaceful discourse is the foundation of our democracy. We don't settle our differences with violence or at gunpoint. In the state of Minnesota, and as recently as last week, in the most closely divided state legislature in the country, we sat down, we worked things out, we debated, we shook hands and compromised, and we served the state of Minnesota together. We proved that it's possible, even in these politically charged times, to find compromise and adhere to the principles of democracy and civil discourse. We must all, Minnesota and across the country, stand against all forms of political violence. At this precipice moment we're on, this tragic act here in Minnesota should serve as a reminder to all of us. The democracy and the debates in the halls of Congress, in state houses, in school boards, is a way to settle our differences peacefully and move society to a better place. We're collaborating with all local, state, and federal agencies on a full investigation. We're committed to keeping Minnesotans informed as the situation continues. I assure you that those responsible for this will be held accountable, and each and every one of us are committed to making sure that a tragedy like this never repeats itself in Minnesota or across this country. I'd now like to turn it over to my public safety team to fill you in on the specifics of this ongoing investigation.
It started like any ordinary summer morning in Minnesota, but by nightfall, two of the state's top lawmakers were bleeding, and the most dangerous man in America was on the run. Who is Vance Luther Boelter, and why did he go from a father of five to a political assassin? This is a chilling story of paranoia, radicalization, and a manifesto that named names. June 14, just 2 days after Flag Day, the quiet of Brooklyn Park was shattered when a man dressed up as a cop rang the doorbell of Representative Melissa Hortman, the former Speaker of the Minnesota House. Moments later, gunshots echoed down the street. Hortman and her husband were found critically wounded. But this wasn't an isolated attack. Just hours earlier, Senator John Hoffman and his wife were targeted in their own home. The pattern was clear. There was a coordinated assassination attempt aimed directly at Minnesota's Democratic leadership. The suspect, a 57-year-old of German ancestry, Vance Luther Boelter, not a name you would know until now. Once a licensed armed guard from Princeton, Minnesota, Boelter lived a quiet life on the surface, but behind closed doors, he was stockpiling weapons, constructing a fake police vehicle, and crafting a chilling hit list of public officials. Authorities now describe him as a radicalized loner, deeply paranoid and heavily influenced by anti-government and anti-abortion ideologies. Inside his SUV, rigged to look like a police cruiser, officers discovered a manifesto. It wasn't just a rant. It was a calculated document with nearly 70 names, from state officials like Governor Tim Walz and Senator Tina Smith to high-profile figures like Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Attorney General Keith Ellison. Also listed abortion providers, civil servants, and community organizers. Each name a target. The manifesto was accompanied by flyers bearing the phrase "No Kings," a slogan associated with anti-authoritarian and sovereign citizen movements. But who was this man behind the madness? Boelter is the father of 5, 4 daughters and a son. 3 of his daughters are known by name Faith, Hope, and Grace. Public records show they were homeschooled, but no mention of siblings or parents. It's like he raised his life or lived on the edge of society all day long. There are no divorce records, no custody battles, no probate filings, no digital footprints of affection, only anger and ideology. So, did he act alone? Law enforcement says yes. No known sponsors, no organizational ties, but investigators are not closing the door on possible online influences. Boelter's digital trail is under forensic review, with authorities searching for contacts, online groups or forums that may have helped shape his radical beliefs. Experts say this bears the hallmark of a self-radicalized domestic extremist, similar to recent lone wolf attackers in Buffalo, El Paso, and even Christchurch. As of this broadcast, Vance Luther Boelter is still at large. A manhunt involving the FBI, state troopers, and US Marshals is underway. Officers are warning the public. He's armed, dangerous, and unpredictable. Every minute is free is a risk, a threat, a statement. Before we round off this conversation, here is more information. The governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, described his action as a politically motivated assassination. And why is this instructive? A few MAGA figures such as Laura Loomer have linked the governor to the assassin, who he appointed to his state board in 2019. Vance Boelter had also been appointed by the previous governor in 2016, according to sources. The question now is, did the governors know about his ideologies and extremist ideas? What did he do about it? Have they provided sufficient information to relevant authorities? If not, are they willing to? This isn't just a Minnesota story. It's an American warning about what happens when rage, isolation, and ideology boil over. One man, one manifesto, and a nation forced to ask, who's next on the list? Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for real-time updates as this story unfolds. Stay safe, stay informed.